Think about the last time you tried to cut back on sugar. It's tough, I know, especially if you relied on it for years to boost your energy and mood or to reward yourself after a long week. But what if I told you that this time it's going to be different? Today we're going to explore powerful strategies you've probably never heard of before. The ones that work with your body, not against it. Because honestly, in 2024, trying to eat healthier using willpower and discipline is not just outdated, it's ineffective. To truly reduce your sugar intake, we need smarter, more effective methods. Because the ultimate goal is not to simply forbid yourself from eating sugar, it's to reshape your desires so you naturally don't want it as often. That's the smartest way to go. And my fifth tip to reduce your sugar intake is perhaps the most fundamental and sits at the base of the pyramid. So don't miss it. With that being said, let's start with strategy number 1, and that is watch what you eat in the beginning of the day. As in the context of sugar, it's how you start your day that determines how you manage your day. If you start your day with a sweet breakfast, think pancakes, cereal, granola, fruit smoothie, not to mention Pop-Tarts. When did the Western breakfast become so sugary? Anyways, it will cause 3 things. First, you anchor your taste buds to crave that sweet taste, which means you set a standard for how much sweetness you expect in the future meals. This creates a baseline. As a result, less sweet foods might not taste as appealing, leading you to crave even more sugar to meet that established standard. Second, you set your brain for that dopamine. If you eat something sweet, your reward system in the brain gets activated and you set a higher bar for that dopamine for the day. And third, and that is really important, it will cause your blood sugar to spike, giving you a temporary energy boost. However, this is quickly followed by a crash, leaving you feeling fatigued and craving more sugar. You've basically no chance to not crave more sugar if your breakfast was sweet, which is a natural and from the evolutionary perspective, great mechanism. Because if your blood sugar is low, it signals your body to go get for food. And the more your blood sugar spikes, the more it crashes. And the more you'll crave that fast energy that comes from high sugar, high-fat foods. Again, starting your day with a savory breakfast, and especially satiating one, is key to avoiding that. When your blood sugar is stable, it's so much easier to maintain consistent energy levels and resist sugar cravings that can derail your day. Aim for a breakfast centered around protein, healthy fats, and fiber. Aim to get at least 20 grams of protein per meal. That's the bare minimum. Personally, I need over 35 grams to feel full for more than 4 hours without any cravings. If I have less than 30 grams, I find myself getting hungry just 2 hours after eating. But that's different for everyone, so you gotta find out how much protein per meal you need to stay satiated long enough. Now, what to eat? Think eggs and avocado toast, Greek yogurt with nuts, seeds and berries, breakfast burrito with sausage, black beans and veggies, etc. A sweet breakfast is just a matter of habit, so give yourself time to get used to a savory one. Make sure your breakfast is nutritious, satisfying, and easy to prepare. Maybe even something you can prepare the day before. Now, I have created 5 delicious high-protein breakfasts for you. Therefore, check out the PDF link in the description box below. You will love them. Now, before we dive into the next game-changing tips, take a moment to subscribe to my channel if you're done with all the superficial quick fixes and are ready to finally take control of your health for good. Here we focus on real solutions that get to the root of the problem, so you can make lasting changes instead of chasing temporary results. Now let's move to the next step, and that is to have balanced and regular meals, and very, very important, to eat before you're actually hungry. If you skip meals or wait until you get too hungry, it'll backfire. Here again, our survival mechanism is at play and will let you reach for that chocolate bar or 3 without you even noticing. When you aim for 3 balanced meals a day, you provide your body with the nutrients it needs to function optimally. A balanced meal consists of 1/4 of the plate, or 20 to 40 grams of quality protein, 1/4 of grains like brown rice, quinoa, and oats, starchy vegetables like sweet potatoes and butternut squash, and half the plate colorful vegetables or fruits. Usually, you'll also get in enough healthy fats if you eat fish, or supplement omega-3 if you use olive oil in your salads, or if you eat some nuts. Whenever possible, eat at the same time each day to establish a routine that helps regulate your body's internal clock and supports your metabolism. Consistent meal timing improves digestion, it stabilizes blood sugar levels, and reduces cravings by training your body to expect nourishment at certain times. You know how sometimes you get so caught up in the day that you may forget to eat, and when you realize how hungry you are, you reach for that first option, which is usually not the healthiest. Don't let that happen. Good food is not your enemy. It's not just more calories, it's nourishment your body needs. So eat those meals. And my third tip is to avoid artificial sweeteners. It's crucial to understand that even though they're marked as sugar-free and are definitely lower in calories, they are not the perfect solution they're sometimes made out to be. Artificial sweeteners are, at their core, synthetic chemicals. They are designed to trick our taste buds into sensing the sweetness without the actual sugar, which sounds too good, and we know that most of the time anything that sounds too good has got to have a catch. These sweeteners don't just disappear into the void, they interact with our body in ways that aren't entirely benign. If consumed regularly, they feed the bad bacteria in our gut. Yeah, we all have bacteria down there, and it's usually a balance of good and bad. But when the bad ones get fed like this, it can throw that delicate balance off. Now, this balance can result in cravings for real sugar, increased inflammation, digestive problems, and could even contribute to mood swings. Now, even though we need more studies to paint a complete picture, one thing is clear. If you keep choosing diet sodas or sugar-free snacks all the time, you're not helping your body get used to less sweet stuff. Instead, you're setting up a kind of tease. Your body tastes sweet, it expects sugar, and when it doesn't get it, it starts to crave the real deal even more. I'm not saying you can never have that Coke Zero, I'll grab one myself from time to time. We're talking daily habits here, and making artificial sweeteners a regular guest at your meals isn't the way to go. It's better to train your taste buds to enjoy less sweetness. That way you're not only cutting down on cravings, but also setting yourself up for a healthy relationship with food. So yeah, moderation is key, just like with anything else in life. And my fourth tip is something you won't hear of, maybe because it's not as obvious or immediately noticeable, but it's such a game changer to help you eat less sugar in the long run. We just touched on this a bit. You need to stop feeding the bad bacteria in your gut and instead focus on feeding the good bacteria. We'll clarify how to do this in just a minute. Now, what does bad actually mean in this context? Simply put, bad refers to specific harmful bacteria in your gut that thrive on sugar. When you eat sugar, they grow and multiply. This can disrupt the balance of your gut microbiome, leading to a condition known as dysbiosis, when there's an imbalance between beneficial and harmful bacteria. Bacteria that thrive on sugar can send signals through the gut-brain axis to your brain, making you crave more of it. Long story short, if there are too many bad bacteria in your gut, the good bacteria has a hard time surviving. And that's a pity, as they play a pivotal role in a healthy metabolism, hormone balance, and mental health. They break down food, produce essential nutrients, maintain a healthy gut barrier, and produce short-chain fatty acids, which have anti-inflammatory properties and help regulate your appetite. An important factor in helping the good bacteria survive and grow is having the right acidity, or pH, in your gut. If the pH of your gut becomes too acidic, often because of eating too much sugar and high processed foods, experiencing a ton of stress, having poor sleep quality, etc., it creates a tough environment for the good bacteria. Now, this then causes problems with digestion, nutrient absorption, immune function, weight, sleep, energy levels, hormones, mood, and appetite regulation, and so much more. And now here's how to nourish the good microbes and improve the acidity level of your gut so that they can have an environment they can actually survive in. Rule number 1, eat foods rich in fiber. They provide the necessary fuel for beneficial bacteria. It's important to note that if you haven't been eating much fiber before, you need to start slowly. Introducing too much fiber too quickly can upset your stomach. This is because you may not have enough of the bacteria needed to digest the fiber effectively. effectively. Begin with about 10 to 15 grams of fiber per day and gradually increase. When the good bacteria in your gut ferment the fiber, they produce the short-chain fatty acids. Those have been shown to influence the production of hormones involved in appetite regulation, like, for example, GLP-1 and PYY. Both hormones increase feelings of fullness and help reduce cravings for especially sugary foods. Another key way that your gut influences your sugar intake and stress eating is through the production of serotonin, the feel-good neurotransmitter. To be precise, the gut is responsible for producing about 90% of your body's serotonin. Means that a well-balanced gut boosts serotonin levels, which helps reduce stress-related sugar cravings. In addition to nourishing the bacteria already in your gut, you can also introduce beneficial new ones. Fermented foods are an excellent source of probiotics, which are live bacteria that can enhance your gut health. However, they can only be effective if the overall environment of your gut is healthy. Many professionals recommend buying probiotic supplements, but it's important to know that these can be a waste of money if you don't also focus on improving your overall gut health. In fact, you don't really need supplements if you go for natural sources like plain unsweetened yogurt, sauerkraut, kimchi, and kombucha. Just remember to pick the ones that are kept in the fridge. Why? Because keeping them cool helps keep the bacteria alive. If they're not kept cool, they won't do much for your gut, so always check that. And rule number 2 for improving your acidity level: when choosing protein for your meals, it's wise to balance animal proteins with plant-based ones such as beans, lentils, and tofu. Too many animal proteins tend to change your acidity level in a negative way. And my 5th tip is the most fundamental and sits at the base of the priority pyramid and sets the tone even before your breakfast. Your day will only be as good as the night before. Poor sleep over long periods disrupts your gut pH, affects your blood sugar levels and insulin regulation, increases your stress hormone cortisol, decreases your energy level, increases ghrelin, the hunger hormone, and decreases leptin, the hormone that signals fullness. All of these factors contribute to heightened sugar cravings and stress eating. Let's start with the body's ability to regulate glucose. When you are sleep deprived, your body cells become less sensitive to insulin, the hormone that helps glucose, so sugar, enter cells for energy. Now in this video, you see that a cell responds well to insulin, allowing glucose to enter and be used for energy. In contrast, in this video, the cell does not respond effectively to insulin, preventing glucose from entering. This reduced sensitivity means your body needs more insulin to do the same job, leading to higher insulin levels in the bloodstream. Over time, this raises your blood sugar levels and increases the risk of type 2 diabetes. Now, what about the increased cortisol production? Your body is in fight or flight mode when you lack sleep, and this leads to elevated stress hormone levels. Cortisol then signals your body to retain fat, especially around the belly, and go find high sugar, high fat foods as a quick energy source. Then there's the impact on the brain's reward system. Sleep deprivation affects especially the areas that control pleasure and reward responses. Now guess what? This makes high sugar foods more appealing, as the brain is more likely to seek out the quick energy and dopamine boost that sugar provides. This of course leads to increased cravings and an overconsumption of sugar. All that happens because your body is an enormously smart system wired for survival. Your brain activates mechanisms to make you crave quick energy sources, and the quickest is sugar. Understanding these connections underscores just how essential a good night's sleep for reducing sugar is, far more than relying on willpower and discipline. In fact, it's much easier than most people realize when we simply focus on improving our sleep quality. One really simple but effective add-on to manage sugar intake is by adding certain key nutrients to your diet that help balance your blood sugar. Take chromium, for instance. It's a mineral that plays a big role in regulated blood sugar and helping your body respond better to insulin and thus reduce the desire for sugar. You can find it in foods like broccoli, eggs, and whole grains, or you can always take it as a supplement if you're not getting enough. Then there's Ceylon cinnamon, which is amazing for lowering blood sugar. It's known to reduce the body's insulin response after meals, keeping your blood sugar levels nice and stable. You can sprinkle it on your oatmeal, blend it into smoothies, or stir it into your coffee. Another important nutrient to consider is magnesium. So many people don't realize they're low on magnesium, and when you're deficient, your cravings for sugar can be a lot stronger. Eat more leafy greens, nuts like almonds, avocados, or add a supplement. Adding these key nutrients into your daily routine makes sticking to your health goals so much easier. And my ultimate tip is don't buy sugar or sweets. I know it sounds kinda harsh and it might be tough at first, but honestly, this one simple step can make a massive difference. It's all about a mindset shift. If you start to see sweets as an occasional treat, a dessert, rather than something you have every day, they become more of a special delicacy that you enjoy from time to time. It wasn't that long ago that sweets were reserved for special occasions, not something we always had in bulk at home. The truth is, if you don't have sugary snacks laying around, you're less likely to eat them. It's really that simple. Instead, plan your treats with intention. Like if you're planning a movie night, go for a small bag of popcorn instead of stocking up on a huge one. Or if you're going out with friends, treat yourself to some ice cream. This method helps you stay in control and reduces the chances of giving in to cravings. It's all about creating an environment that supports your goals. And by doing this, you also keep your emotions out of the game. Without sweets at home, you're less likely to grab them out of boredom, stress, frustration, or other emotions. And honestly, it's a good thing because it forces you to find better coping mechanisms. You'll naturally start turning to healthier ways to manage those feelings, whether that's going for a walk, practicing some mindfulness, or diving into a hobby you love. This approach doesn't just help you cut down on sugar, it helps you build habits that really support your overall well-being and mental health. Why not give it a go? You've got to break that cycle. Getting a good night's sleep and kicking off your day with a savory, high-protein breakfast can make a huge difference already. And here's the tough part. You've got to take responsibility for your actions. I know it's hard, but that means fully letting go of excuses and not blaming someone or something else for your choices. This is about you taking control of your habits and making a real commitment to change. So take the time to really think about it, take responsibility for your choices, and start making those small adjustments today. You can do this. And if you're looking for more ways to improve your health, watch these 2 videos next. Until next time, take care of yourself because your health is your greatest wealth.